TeachAnOldDogNewTricks.com. More than 40 hours of free computer training. Sit, stay, and learn. Thank you. Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Holowitz, and thank you for being here for this presentation on PowerPoint. And in this presentation, we're going to take a look at inserting things into a PowerPoint slide. Again, we're focusing on one very simple slide right here. I want you to observe that one of the things I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on in these tutorials are things like going in and making things bold, italic, changing the font, the style, the colors. Again, as I had mentioned in previous tutorials, a lot of the things up here on the ribbon are things that I would have expected you to learn in Microsoft Word. Therefore, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on some of the ways of changing the colors and the fonts and things of that nature. It's just repetitive, and I think most people understand that if you've learned Microsoft Word, or if you haven't, I urge you to go back to the Microsoft Word tutorials and see some of the training there, because it's exactly the same. Having said that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on Insert. I'm going to click away from this just to get away from the text box. And I want to draw your attention over here to the table area. If I click on the drop down, I can just bring my pointer down over these squares. And because I've gone down 4 squares, it's going to put in 4 rows. If I go over to the right, you're going to see now I'm creating a 6x4 table. That's going to be 4 rows and 6 columns. So I'm just going to click once and I've inserted a table. Now a table is something, if I click on the side, I can drag it around the screen just like I can a text box. Next, I'm going to go up and click on Insert tab. I'm going to go Picture, and I'm going to navigate to a picture. Here's a picture of Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to click Insert, and now I have a picture. Again, if I click and hold anywhere on the picture, I can move this around the screen. So now I've inserted a picture, I've inserted a table. Let's go back to the Insert tab. I'm going to go down to Clip Art. Now, Clip Art is really exactly the same as a picture, but what it's going to do, it's going to navigate online to different clip art. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move away from this because I'm not going to focus on clip art in this. Again, that's something in Microsoft Word you can easily learn. For a moment, I'm going to move away from Screenshot and Photo Album. I'll address those in a different area. But let's go to Shapes. Again, we can work with a lot of different shapes. Let's say we want a plus sign. Well, I'm going to click on that. Then I'm just going to sort of draw this by clicking and holding right on the screen. So we can put shapes in. Smart Art, I'm going to avoid that for now, but let's go to a chart. If I want to put a chart in, and again, you ever have one of those things in school, you feel like you missed that day in school? Well, I sort of feel like I missed the chart day in school because I'm surely not a chart expert. But here I've just inserted a chart. Okay, so we can insert a lot of things into a slide. Let's go back here again, click on Insert, and again, we can do, and some of this stuff we'll do later as it applies to the training, such as a hyperlink, text box we've already done, header and footer. Let's go take a look at the header and footer. Let's say we want a header on every slide. Well, what we can do is, for example, on the slide, we can apply date and time to the slide. We can make it fixed, or we can make it change to automatically update to the day. We can also do a slide number. We can put a footer in here, and we could call it just Tony the Teacher, for example. Just like that. And we can also approach the notes and handouts area of the slide as well. Want to do a footer? No problem. Let's do it my full name. Okay, and I'm going to click on Apply to All. Although we only have one slide, we're going to apply it to everything. So here's the information down below for my footer. So there are a lot of things we can do that are very similar to working with Microsoft Word. Again, if we view this up here, Word Art is something that you might or might not be familiar with. I'm going to suggest you use that more in Word and learn it there. Dates and times, slide numbers, objects, symbols. In future tutorials, we'll talk about videos and audio. We'll specify or get more specific about that. But for the most part, you can insert all these items into a slide. Now, I don't always recommend doing all these things because sometimes for your audience they can be hard to see. But again, all these items up here are very similar to what you do in Microsoft Word. So once you sort of figure out one, you'll be able to understand the others. And as we go along, we'll look at this in a little more detail on some of these areas. My name is Tony Holowitz. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.